Hey. Hope everybody is doing well. Just taking a moment, taking a break from preparing personal tax returns, just to share with you all that if you are working on your tax returns and realize that you're missing some information and don't have everything that you need to go ahead and file your tax returns, please go ahead and file that personal tax extension. For the federal, is going to be a Form 4868. If you're working with an accountant, and especially if you are a new client, we always ask for a copy of the prior year's tax return because we need that information to file that extension. It's going to have information like, of course, your name, your mailing address, whether you're filing a joint tax return or not. Both of those taxpayers will need to be on that extension. But then, we try to go ahead and estimate how much you would have in, personal tax liability. So we would want to go ahead and plug in your W-2s, any 1099s that you have for, let's say, retirement income. If you already have 1099s for your business, we want to plug those in there along with the expenses that, just some, a ballpark of what your expenses are, and get that in there and calculate out what your potential tax liability would be. And the reason for that is because we want to have you, let's say we plug all that information in there and then it looks like you're going to owe money. Okay, so when we file that personal tax extension, we want to have you go ahead and make a payment with it. And what that's going to do, let me back up for a moment. So your extension, when you file that federal extension, it's giving you an extension of time to file. It is not an extension of time to pay. Okay, so the IRS does charge things like failure to file penalties as well as failure to pay penalties, and also interest on the late payment. So by you filing that extension, that takes care of the failure to file penalty as long as you file by the extended deadline, and it will take care of the failure to pay if you go ahead and make that payment with the extension. Okay, so you can file that Form 4868 yourself. You can have an accountant file that for you. You can go online and you can make that extension payment on irs.gov, and you'll have an option where you can choose that you want that payment to go towards your 2021 tax return. Okay, so then that way when you do get all of your documents in and you're ready to go ahead and file that tax return, you already have a payment on file. Okay, so if that payment is enough to cover your actual tax liability, then now you don't have to worry about those penalties. So that's the goal, to try to minimize that as much as possible. Okay, if you live in a state like we're here located in North Carolina, you do also have to file an extension for North Carolina. North Carolina will penalize you if you don't file by the deadline. This year is April the 18th. So make sure you do the same thing. You're going to want to file for North Carolina. It's a D410. These forms you can find online on either irs.gov, North Carolina Department of Revenue. You can find those forms, you can print them out, you can mail those in, and then go online and go online and process a payment for that extension. Okay, can't get it wrong. If you happen to overpay, that's okay, because now when you actually file your tax return, you can get that money back as a refund. Okay, so I just want to share that. And for anybody else, we're getting a lot of calls. Our deadline for filing a personal tax return by April 18th, our internal deadline has actually passed, but we are still taking clients. So just know that we will be filing an extension for you, and we will be advising the same thing. Make sure you still turn in your whatever documents you have, along with your a copy of your prior year tax return, so we can get everything we need in there to calculate whether you need to make a payment, and then also to go ahead and get that extension filed for you by the deadline. Okay, so don't be afraid of extensions. It's there for you if you need it. It's better that when you file your tax return, that you do it right, But if you have to, file that extension and then go ahead and make that payment with it, okay? So just wanted to share that with you. We're getting really close to the deadline. My team is working. Everybody is pushing. We're, trying to get through this tax season, and then we'll be circling back around and working on extensions after we take a little break. We need a little break after that. So anyway, hey Karen, hey Junie, if you guys have any questions, feel free to put those in the chat. If not, I will be seeing you guys. Reach out if you have any questions. But great seeing you all, and happy Thursday. A tax day is coming. Bye.